Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show. A bit late as you know on Saturday as usual. Well, so what I'm going to do today, you won't see that Ram is going to do a cricket report today. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to look at the third day's play that happened between India and England in the fourth and final test here at the Jamta Stadium in Nagpur. And then I will take you live to Hobart, but currently the situation is that it's a rear guard action going on. I mean, in the sense that they have done a rear guard action, the Sri Lankans, with Dilshan making his first ever century against Australia, in Australia, and Angelo Mathews is keeping him company. But rain has really proved a spoiled sport, and right now they're taking an early lunch, so that's the situation. So during this YouTube broadcast, what I'll do is I will also go there live just to see what is the current situation. But I'll definitely have a look at both the matches. So first what I'm going to do is I'm just going to briefly discuss the third day's play in the match between England and India, whereas you know it was India who were batting the other day, and as I said, Dhoni and Kohli were at the crease, and it was very essential that they put a very good partnership, because both of them have not been having a good series, especially Virat Kohli. But today what Virat Kohli and Dhoni did was something which was absolutely admirable. You know that India, the chips were down for India at 71 for 4, and then in the second day Virat Kohli and Dhoni just took them to the close. But on the third day it was some very dedicated batting by both the batsmen. But what was very good about it was Virat Kohli was showing such maturity, because normally Virat Kohli likes to get on with the game, but yesterday he buckled down to the task, and he knew he was not in form. He was being tempted by the bowlers, but he kept his cool, kept on plugging on, in the sense he kept on working the balls, and you know, showing a very good defensive technique. Mahendra Singh Dhoni also on the other hand was doing that, but both of them were basically probably predetermined, like they were absolutely decided that they are only going to have a lash at a loosest ball that the English bowlers bowl. And whenever that was on offer, yes, Virat Kohli and Dhoni were quick to latch onto it and actually dispatch it to the fence. In fact, Virat Kohli and Dhoni, what they did was that they held this English attack at bay, which was very good, because they put a 198 run partnership in which in 2 sessions England couldn't even take a wicket. So basically they played 2 sessions. Only in the final session where India actually lost the advantage, because this 198 run partnership was built in a beautiful fashion. 2 sessions were gone and England were wicketless, and only in the final session when the score reached 269 with the partnership worth 198, Virat Kohli reached his century after pretty long time, as you know. And but that is something which India will definitely take. It was a wonderful knock from Virat Kohli under the tough circumstances, under immense pressure. He scored 103. It was really good to see, and Graham Swan was the one who actually broke that very stubborn stand by actually dismissing Virat Kohli LBW for 103 with 11 fours. But as I said, Virat Kohli showing maturity, really absolute maturity, and making 103. We know he's a matured batsman, but this was something which was a very tough situation for him, and he came up trumps, I would say. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, well, he did his job, but he was absolutely he was stranded in the 90s for quite a long time. In fact, he also hit 1/6 of the bowling of Graham Swan, but Dhoni was absolutely kept quiet by the English bowlers in the 90s, and that was the one, the pressure was building on Dhoni at the time. And in fact, he saw Jadeja being dismissed as Anderson came in and had him LBW for 12 on his debut with 2 boundaries. And after that, Dhoni probably sensing that he was running out of partners. We definitely had Ravichandran Ashwin at the crease, but Dhoni then he went for a single, which was a bit risky, I would say, and unfortunately had to pay the penalty. But it was a big penalty, because what happened was Dhoni actually missed his century. And just imagine this, I wish no cricket player should be getting run out on 99. So that is something, for all the efforts that Dhoni put in, he truly deserved a century. But he was kept very quiet in the 90s, and he was stranded in the 90s. and then the frustration got to him and he tried to steal a single, and that proved his downfall. Cook was the one who really threw down the stumps, and Dhoni was run out for a very well made 99. 246 balls he occupied the crease, 8 fours and 1 6. Jadeja was gone, as I said, on his debut, and Piyush Chawla was also scalped. This time he was scalped by Graham Swan. He actually clean bowled him for 1. And in fact, as I said, England came back. England for 2 sessions they couldn't take a wicket on the third day, but in the final session of the third day they really came back hard, because they got Virat Kohli, Dhoni's wicket. They dismissed Jadeja and Chawla and had the Indian innings at 297 for 8. But I'm sure India would be very happy with this effort, with Ravichandran Ashwin was not out on 7. For India, well, they are another 33 runs short of overhauling England's total to take the lead. But one can't expect much unless Ravichandran Ashwin gets some good support from Ishan Sharma. Ishan Sharma is definitely capable to stay at the crease. Pragyan Oja, I wouldn't really say so, but Ishan Sharma has shown in the past. But if he can do that, and if Ravichandran Ashwin can show what he did when he made those 90 odd runs in the probably the previous game, well, that would be good for India. But whether India can, what would be interesting is that whether India can take the lead today. The 33 runs can be taken, but definitely one has to throw the cards to England, because England are the ones who are in a good situation. Because what has happened is, as I said, England were wicketless for the first 2 sessions, and then they came back hard. The final session was the one where England really struck, because when Kohli was dismissed for 269, after that India finished at 297 for 8. So the 4th day's play is really, really well poised. I think this match is absolutely well poised, because today it would be interesting to see whether India can take the lead, or whether what is the slender lead that England take. Bowling figures: Anderson bowled superbly, 26 overs, 5 maidens, 68 runs and 4 wickets. The other wicket taker was Graham Swan, 30.1 overs, 9 maidens, 76 runs and 3 wickets. None for 69 for Besson, who continued to struggle, 26 overs and 5 maidens. Monty Panesar toiled hard without reward, 46 overs, 15 maidens, 67 runs and no wicket. Jonathan Todd 1 over for 2 runs, and Joe Root on his debut, bowling his first over in international cricket, 1 over for 5 runs. So the 4th day happens to be is supposed to be a very good it's going to be a very, very interesting day. India is trailing by 33 runs with 2 wickets remaining, but I'm sure we are going to have a very good day's play in prospect here, because it will be very interesting. I would say right now it's even Stevens. Well, let us get out from here right now and head to Hobart. Now, as you Hobart, yesterday was the day 3 in Hobart. Day 3 in Hobart, we know that Michael Clarke and Hussey were at the crease, but Michael Clarke was an early victim on the morning I'm sorry, it was on day 2 as far as Australia and Sri Lanka were concerned. Today is day 3. So on day 2, Michael Clarke was an early victim of Shaminda Ranga, who produced a very good delivery, with Michael Clarke actually edged on, and Sangakkara behind the stumps took the catch. He was gone for 74 with 7 boundaries. But after that, that was the only reward that Sri Lanka could take. But that was an early reward that they got early in the morning, when the score stood at 304 for 5, with Michael Clarke departing for 74. But after that, it was absolute curtains for Sri Lanka, because Michael Hussey went on to make an unbeaten 115 with 8 fours and 1 6, and Matthew Wade waded into the attack to make 68 runs with 5 fours, and both of them were unbeaten. And well, it was a very, very bold declaration by Michael Clarke. So Michael Clarke declaring the innings closed at 450 for 5. I thought that was a bold move by the Australian captain Michael Clarke, to declare the innings at 450 for 5. Probably had a lot of trust in his bowlers, and that was the score, 450 for 5, 50 for 5, at which Australian captain Michael Clarke actually declared the innings closed. So Michael Hussey, as I said, Michael Hussey has been such a stalwart that one is not really comparing him to the greats, but let me tell you, Michael Hussey absolutely is one of the gems for Australia. I think he really, really holds this middle order in a superb fashion. He comes there when the chips are down and comes and delivers. Yes, the chips are not down yesterday, but all in all, this knock was of great importance. 115 to his name with 8 fours and 1 6 that he pulled off Shaminda Iranga. Matthew Wade also played well with 68 runs. And the Australian captain Michael Clarke, who is a very, very innovative captain. I thought he's a very bold captain who really is interested in results. He's a very result-oriented captain. That's what I've seen of Michael Clarke's captaincy. And he declared the innings closed at 450 for 5. The game was a bit of a surprise, I would say. Kulashekara none for 80, 3 for 130 for Velagadra. Iranga 1 for 90, and Mathews none for 41. Dilshan none for 30, none for 75 for Rangana Herath. Now Sri Lanka, they started off with, as you know, it was Karunaratne along with Dilshan who opened the innings. But in fact, Sri Lanka were really put into some strife at 87 for 4 at close of play. With the first wicket to go, Dimnath Karunaratne, who was scalped by Wade behind the stumps of the bowling of Ilfanaz for 14. He played some very good strokes, let me tell you. On the onside, he played some very good strokes off his legs. It was very good to see. But his timing was perfect, but Karunaratne couldn't last long. He was gone for 14, so that was the first wicket to go. 25 for 1 Sri Lanka. After that, Kumar Sangakkara fell a victim to the bowling of Siddle. He was caught by Hussey of the bowling of Siddle for 4. Absolutely. So that made it 42 for 2. And Mahendra Jayawardene, the captain, followed him to the pavilion after making just 12 runs, as Shane Watson had in LBW for 12. And most of all, the last ball of the day, in fact, when it was actually Thilan Samaraveera who came in, and as you know, Thilan Samaraveera has a very good test record, and Thilan Samaraveera was there with Tilakana Dilshan. Now Dilshan's effort was really to be appreciated because he really stuck to the crease, eschewed all his strokes and really stayed at the crease. He understood the importance of his wicket there, and he stayed at the crease, making some runs. In fact, today he went on to make a century, but Samaraveera was gone as Nathan Lyon struck just before close of play by picking up, and as I said, Sri Lanka were in real strife at 87 for 4. But today things have changed drastically. Even though rain has really played a spoiled sport, the current Sri Lankan score stands at 187 for 4, as I said, with Dilshan. So this is a century partnership which is already yielded, with Tilakatne Dilshan today showing some attacking stroke play by really hitting the ball in a very attacking fashion through the offside, and he has he was absolutely overjoyed when he got his century, because it was the first century that Tilakatne Dilshan has got against Australia in Australia. What a proud moment for Dilshan. He was not out on 103 with 16 fours when the rain came. Angelo Mathews had an unbeaten 45 to his name. Angelo Mathews has been looking very good. He has been employing the pull stroke well for his boundaries, for the 7 boundaries that he hit. And also, it has been very good to see Angelo Mathews, who uses his feet very well against the spinners. In fact, he dealt with Nathan Lyon very well as far as using the feet is concerned. He is not out on 45, and Sri Lanka currently are 187 for 4. So it's a nice rear guard action being put by both the batsmen. As I said, the spoiled sport has been the rain, unfortunately, and 187 for 4 is the current score. They've taken an early lunch with rain threatening. The bowling figures: Mitchell Starc 11 overs 1 maiden, none for 54, couldn't get any reward. Ilfanaz, unfortunately today he has left with some injury. I think he has got an injury. He has gone back. He has not bowled after bowling 12.2 overs, 3 maidens, 30 runs and 1 wicket. So one has to hope that he comes back. Nathan Lyon 5.2 overs, 2 maidens, 15 runs and 1 wicket. Siddle bowled 13 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 41. Picked up the all-important wicket of Kumar Sangakkara. Shane Watson 12.4 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 37. Michael Clarke 2 overs for 9 runs. But I thought Sri Lanka have been really hit because they have lost both the key wickets, because the mainstays of this particular innings, Mahendra Jayawardene and Kumar Sangakkara, have been dismissed very cheaply, which is not good news. So that is the match situation right now. Still it's raining here in Hobart. Sri Lanka are 187 for 4 in reply to Australia's 450 for 5 declared. Well, that's it from me, your host Ram, for the cricket show for today. See you all tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye from your host Ram. Thank you.